So finally, JJK Modulo Chapter 14 is here. In the last chapter, we saw the announcement of the duel between Yuka and Dabura, and the chapter ended right there. Now the new chapter continues from that point, so let's break it down. The chapter starts with Mino talking to Miyaguni. Yes, finally we know this girl's name. It's Miyaguni. As she said in the last chapter, Yuka will be fighting from their side. Hearing this, Mino starts shouting, asking if she seriously wants Yuka to fight for them. Mia explains they have no other choice. She continues, asking Mino if Yuka told him about her sickness. Mino goes silent. From Miyaguni, we learn she already knows what the Japanese forces can or can't do, like the US troops stationed in Japan. They can't do much against Dabura. Even if they get involved, it will only lead to unnecessary deaths. She also says the US-Japan security treaties don't apply here. Basically, they're trapped. The scene shifts. We see Maru thinking that everyone seems to be avoiding him. He wonders where everything started. When did he stop having proper conversations with Cross? We then cut to a flashback. Maru and Cross are inside a pit, holding a stone called Moru, a stone that stores cursed energy. Cross tells Maru that their father spent his entire life searching for it, even in his final moments. Moru is a special type of matter that can store cursed energy and convert it into different forms. Cross also says that according to Dora, all the problems with the Lumerians happen because of Moru. Maru gets angry and breaks the stone. While breaking it, he thinks, this thing our father gave his whole life for, it's not even real Moru, it's just a normal stone. Only Maru knows this. Cross doesn't. Cross is shocked and asks what he's doing, but Maru crushes the stone under his feet, shouting about how their father died protecting something fake, how he abandoned them as a warrior, even abandoned his duty for this Moru. Cross starts crying. Maru tells him to forget about it. Maru never wanted Cross to learn the truth, that their father wasted his life on an ordinary stone. Maru chose to carry that burden alone so Cross wouldn't break down. The flashback jumps 10 years ahead to the time when Dabura and Dora were dueling. We see Dabura killing Dora and apologizing, saying he didn't want to ruin his face. We learn they were best friends, but they had no choice but to duel because they belonged to different sides and were the strongest warriors of their factions. As Maru remembers this, he says Dora and Dabura were extremely close. The flashback continues. Maru narrates that he was alone with his obsession to fulfill his duty as a warrior. Finally, we see the face of Maru and Cross's father. Maru admits he has become like his stepfather in some ways. He explains that his father died because of his obsession with Maru. Maru regrets how much he has hurt Cross because of his own obsession and sense of duty. We return to the present. Maru sits alone, wanting to apologize to Cross, but he can't. Cross is dying. He has taken 3 bullets, and RCT isn't working on him. Cross is going to die. That's why Maru is remembering everything and regretting that he never had a proper conversation with him after such a long time. There was so much he needed to say, but never could. Next, we see Tsurugi. He's thinking about the Samorians. Something about their story doesn't add up. Their social structure doesn't align with Earth's modern values. Samorians are aliens, yet they have the exact same similarities as humans. So humans can't treat them as aliens. They're practically the same. Tsurugi thinks about how Simorians were oppressed for so long and how the Diskunte dominated politically. But he wonders, has it always been this way from the beginning? Something is missing. Tsurugi questions himself. All his questions become pointless because of the spaceship Non-X. This ship's existence makes everything confusing. He can't understand how Simorians built an interstellar spaceship in such a short time. Even we readers aren't told. After Dabura won the duel, the Diskunte were going to attack them at dawn, yet somehow the Samorians escaped that night, and suddenly, they had a spaceship. Tsurugi struggles to understand. Even if he accepts they figured out how to use cursed energy as fuel, could they really build an interstellar ship in that short time? And on top of everything, they managed to travel in that spaceship with more than 50,000 Samorians. None of this adds up. Tsurugi says that considering the technology they had at that time, this shouldn't have been possible. He thinks about how they were busy building canals the whole time. So when did they even get the time to build a spaceship? Tsurugi realizes something extraordinary must have happened. Something only Maru can answer. We then see Tsurugi reaching the place where Maru is. He directly asks Maru, "You did this, right?" Maru, 14th January 2087. It's duel day. Yuka versus Dabura, and Tsurugi confronts Maru. Tsurugi bluntly states, "You created your spaceship Nonax using Moru, right? It doesn't just interact with cursed energy, it interacts with your cursed technique itself." He continues, "The Simorians traveled with more than 50,000 people and made it all the way here. All of this was only possible because of that technique. Right? Maru reveals the truth. Yes, all of this happened because of Moru, but not ordinary Moru. The Moru Dora collected for years was special, pure Moru. He also reveals something else. When using techniques with Moru, Maru wasn't the only one doing it. Cross was with him. The two of them together used their cursed technique with Moru. Maru tells Tsurugi he had been looking for him earlier because he wanted one last conversation. Tsurugi says, "You know my location, and you're speaking Japanese to me because of your technique, right?" Maru confirms, "Yes. This technique is special." Tsurugi then asks Maru to leave Japan. Maru refuses. He explains the Simorians can't leave now. They've already learned about the Kalians here, and escaping now is impossible. We also learn Tsurugi already knows about the duel between Yuka and Dabura. Hearing this, Maru states clearly, Yuka cannot win. He tells Tsurugi not to even imagine her winning. It's beyond her reach. Tsurugi already knows about Yuka's sickness. He explains it's spreading much faster than the doctors predicted. Tsurugi says that when sorcerers here have no choice left, they use binding vows to amplify their cursed energy and technique. Maru understands, but says even that won't be enough against Dabura. Tsurugi reveals Yuka was already searching for a reason to sacrifice herself. She had already accepted her death and wanted to die doing something meaningful. We see Yuka heading to the duel. In the background, Tsurugi narrates that he had been thinking of a way to stop Yuka from dying today. If she had 3 months left, he wanted her to spend those months properly. Then angrily, Tsurugi says, "Forget 3 months. Even if she had 1 week, or 1 day, or even 1 second, I would never want her to lose any of it. Every big brother would feel the same. Don't you think so, Maru?" Tsurugi again begs Maru, "Take all the Simorians and leave this place." But Maru explains the truth. Their ship Naunix has more than 50,000 people inside, mostly women and children. It took them 2 years to reach Earth from their original world. During those 2 years, their techniques weakened drastically. Everyone was terrified the entire journey, especially the women and kids. They wondered what would happen if they couldn't find a place to live, or if they ended up lost in the dark. Maru explains, those 2 years were hell for them, and Earth is the only place suitable for Simorians. They can't guarantee they'll ever find another world that can support them. Maru says, "I'm sorry, Tsurugi. Leaving Earth is not an option." Maru places his hand on his sword. Tsurugi does the same. Maru says, "First the Kalian incident, now the second cross incident." Tsurugi says, "Forgive me. I should have been clear from the beginning." Then we get the final brutal panel. Both draw their swords and take fighting stances. Tsurugi yells, "Get the hell out of here." Maru shouts back, "That's not happening because I, Maru, am here." Their fight begins, and at the same time, the duel between Dabura and Yuka begins too. The narrator ends with, "There is no turning back. The war has begun, and the only one who can stop it now is Yuji." That's where the chapter ends. I take my leave. Bye.